Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra. Today I'd like to do a more fun topic, which is talking about luxury purchases, and I'll be sharing some of my experience purchasing luxury items, what lessons I've learned from it, and hopefully I can de-influence you or influence you to do more responsible luxury shopping. So since I was a young kid, my vision of success and accomplishment was that portrayed on social media of a chic young lady with her Chanel classic flat. So since I was young, I always viewed the Chanel classic medium flat as a sign of success and confidence. And a few years ago, when I did a career switch and my pay jumped, I immediately looked into buying a Chanel classic flat. And my first luxury purchase was a classic medium flat in pink, in caviar, and I bought it from a luxury consignment store for $9,000 plus. And I felt happy for maybe only a week plus, and after that my happiness went back to a normal state, and the bag stayed in my closet for a long time, for 2 to 3 years, until I finally bit the bullet to sell it. Why I did not use the bag that much was because after owning it, I realized that its capacity is not huge. Because of the double flap design, the second flap actually eats up the space in the bag itself. Hence, the capacity of the double flap is almost equivalent to that of the mini rectangular, which I eventually bought and enjoyed using. So my classic double flap did not get much use. In addition, it also started peeling and attracting ants for some reason. Although I have not used any products or any food that I stock inside the bag. I've never stored any food or let it come into contact with any food, so I have no idea why the ants kept coming. Yeah. So in the end, after 2 years of trying to maintain the bag and trying to convince myself that I should keep the bag because it was my first purchase, I ended up selling it at a huge loss. I lost about 3,000 plus Sing dollars just by purchasing and selling this bag. So these are the few lessons that I want to just share, and these luxury myths that I want to debunk lah. Why do people get influenced to buy luxury? I think the first most important and most influencing factor is actually the use of social media. Right now, I think social media is very smart because the algorithm picks things up very fast. When you just start researching about a Chanel classic flat, for example, everything you get on social media For You page is bag after bag after bag. And subsequently, over time, you start getting influenced that, oh, all these successful people on social media that are carrying all these bags, if I want to be successful as them, I also need to own a Chanel bag. And so slowly, although at the start it's kind of like a whisper, slowly the whisper start growing louder and louder, and eventually you get influenced to buy a luxury bag. That was what happened to me lah. Social media also tends to show you the more glamorous parts of people's lives, and most of the time what you see are people showing off their luxury purchases, the good food that they have eaten, their luxury travels overseas, etc. And over time, you start to feel that you are lacking in some component, because why am I not carrying the same luxury bags? Why am I not traveling on the same business class? Why am I not eating omakase like them? So over time, you start feeling that you're lacking, and if you want to be as successful as them, then I also need to have the same luxury bag, travel the same business class, eat the same omakase. So social media has that kind of impact on you lah over time. Other than this feeling of lacking, social media, I feel, especially if you subscribe to all these newsletter content, or you subscribe to shopping channels that keep spamming you with all this shopping information, it creates a mindset of fear of missing out, FOMO. They keep telling you that, oh, we have launched a new collection this week. Please buy. This is the best thing ever that we have launched. This item can help you with this. And if you don't buy it, it will sell out in no time. And when you sell out, you cannot buy it anymore. And next week, we are going to increase the price. And if you don't buy it at this price, you are going to lose so much money in the future if you want to buy the same item. So it creates a sense of this artificial scarcity as well as a FOMO effect, which I would like to say, after many years of being addicted to shopping, this fear of missing out, actually you are not missing out on anything, because every week, every month, every year, there is a new thing coming up. How are you going to miss out on something if the thing that you are missing out on goes out of trend after a few months and then a new thing comes up? So if you keep falling into the FOMO mindset, you will keep buying and buying and buying every time a new trend comes up, instead of engaging in the FOMO effect. I encourage to engage in the JOMO effect. JOMO means joy of missing out. So every time you see an item that people convince you that you need and you must buy because it's going to improve your life in a certain way, just don't do anything. Don't do anything. Have the joy of missing out. I don't buy, I don't use my money to buy this item, and because I didn't use my money to buy this item, my money can continue to grow in my account. And this is the joy of missing out. Yes. And another myth that people like to say is that buying luxury items is a form of investment. I have to say that when people say that this is a form of investment, they are meaning that it's an investment for their wardrobe, meaning they are going to use this every day, many times, so that the cost of wear is lower. So it's just an investment for a wardrobe, but it is not an investment in terms of monetary sense, meaning it will not bring you more money. No. Although people say that Birkin bags increases in price, yes, it does. However, you have to take into account all this pre-spend. Pre-spend meaning that Hermes expects you to spend on other goods first before they offer you a chance to buy their quota bags. And most of the time, this pre-spend is at least twice the price of the bag itself. Meaning to say, sure, it will go up in value, but if you sell your bag in a few years' time, can it actually recoup the loss of your pre-spend? Most of the time is no. In addition, because when you sell a luxury item, you need exposure to many people who are willing to potentially buy this item. If you try to sell it yourself, and if you are not a social media influencer with many people who are into luxury shopping, it's unlikely that you are able to sell this luxury item yourself. So most of the time, you have to engage a consignment store, and consignment stores, they eat a huge chunk of the selling price before they give you back the money that they sold the bag for. For example, if let's say you are selling your bag for, let's say you sell your Hermes Birkin bag for $25,000, expect them to take a cut of at least $3,000 before releasing the rest of the money back to you. So essentially, you are already seeing a few $1,000s loss in terms of the selling fees. And also, they have to price the bag lower so that more people will buy it. And you also lose that amount of fees. So in the end, you can see yourself losing a huge amount of money if you are buying luxury bags just for the money value. Most of the times, a lot of bags lose a huge proportion of their value when you try to resell them. Why? Because not in trend anymore. Nobody wants to pay higher than the retail price, and consignment stores eat up a huge profit of the bag. So it is never an investment to buy a luxury bag. Never. The only investment it is if you wear it a lot of times to bring the cost per wear down. Yes. So the next myth is that luxury items are of high quality. This used to be true in the past. So I have bought bags from consignment stores that were made a decade ago, and some of these bags are still in pristine condition. The hardware is shiny, the leather is shiny as well. And right now, in the recent few years, if you see these influencers talking about their recent purchases, you will realize that there are more quality issues that are popping up in luxury items, especially Chanel. I have come across a few Chanel bags that have been purchased in recent years that have quality issues. For example, peeling leather, like I had in my previous bag, and misaligned hardware, and some of the leather was even stained, even with minimal use. It's not only Chanel, I think Louis Vuitton or the other luxury brands also have the same problem. So why not you use that money to go to a reputable leather shop instead and buy leather bags if you really are into quality. Yeah. So I don't think you should buy luxury bags for the quality because right now it is true. Okay, and then the last myth that people buy luxury for is because they want to show off a certain status. If I buy this bag, people will view me as successful because I can make a certain amount of money, I can spend a certain amount of money to buying this bag, means I am successful to some extent. Let me tell you this. If you use your money to buy these bags, that's when you have no money. If you want to be rich, the point is do not buy these bags or do not buy luxury. Wealth only comes from the money you do not spend. If you spend, there is no more wealth. So in fact, if you actually spend this money, you are actually going against what you are trying to portray. Yeah. If you want people's respect, respect is often gotten from you giving respect to others, you being generous, you being kind, imparting your knowledge, etc. This will earn respect way faster and way more than trying to portray that you have wealth by carrying certain luxury or designer good. Yeah. So these are the few reasons why I feel that you should not be too influenced to buy luxury items. If you want to buy luxury items, you have to take a deep consideration into how much wear this item is going to bring you, whether you are going to wear it for a long period of time? Are you still going to wear it after 10 years? And calculate the cost in terms of hours you have to work for this item. Do you have to work 10 days? Do you have to work 10 years for this item? And would you rather spend that amount of time resting, taking a trip to Bali, getting massages, spending time with your family instead of buying this Chanel bag? Yeah. And think about the opportunity cost of buying this item. So let's say you spend $5,000 on this item. The opportunity cost is not just $5,000, because if you put $5,000 into a compounding ETF, every year it gets accumulated around $500. You are losing out on not just the initial capital, but the potential gains on this capital should you have invested that amount of money. So you have to think long and hard before any luxury purchase. Yeah. Have fun shopping or de-influencing yourself.